This is the Isaiah Nixon story, a man murdered for simply voting and a family's fight for justice. If you want to know more about this case, please continue watching.
You are watching Roll a Mile in My Shoes TV.
Isaiah Nixon was a very hardworking man who wanted nothing more than to have a better life for his family. And so when his opportunity came to be able to cast his vote in the upcoming Democratic primary that was being held in his county on September 8th, 1948, he decided to take advantage of it. But shortly after that, he would be murdered for casting his vote and doing something that many people today take for granted. So, all because he wanted to cast his vote in the Democratic primary that was happening that day. Later that day on September 8th, 1948, shortly after Nixon had cast his vote in the primary, two white men, Jim Johnson and Johnny Johnson, arrived at his home in the evening and they ordered him to take a ride with them, but initially Nixon refused to do so. And then John Johnson shot him 3 times. The NAACP quickly took up Nixon's case and it received local as well as national publicity because I'm pretty sure they felt like the police department in his county and state weren't doing anything to help him, all because during this time, if you were a black man or a person of color, your case was likely to be swept under the rug and nothing was to, ever be done about it. So the NAACP took up the case and like I said, it gained national as well as local attention. So this was good because it got his case out into the world so people could hear about it. So they backtracked and said that they were there to offer Mr. Nixon a job or to hire him for work, but then he became violent, and so they acted in self-defense and shot him. Now, if you have somebody that you want to hire for work, chances are you're not going to go to their house with guns, and it's not going to take, two of you to, you know, hire him for a job or work or whatever you're claiming you went there for. It's only going to take one of you. And another thing, why would you need this man to take a ride with you if you were only there to hire him for work? You should have, if you were there to hire him for work, the way you're supposed to do it is ask to speak with him. And you should say, I heard that you're good with doing XYZ, and I have a project that I need done that I think you could help me with, and then offer him, the job. And if he refuses it, then you leave, which they clearly didn't. So this, shows that they were there to hurt this man, which they ultimately did. And they're trying to say that they acted in self-defense because he became aggressive, and I don't know anybody who, if you're offering them a job where they can make money, they're going to become aggressive with you. They might refuse the job and say no, and then you leave. But clearly, that's not what these men went there for, and that's why what happened happened. After Isaiah Nixon was murdered, his family had to bury him in a remote cemetery that was located in the woods. And with the family being traumatized as they were after his murder, they fled to Jacksonville, Florida. And over time, the family said that his grave, became covered with dirt, leaves, and fallen tree limbs. So they initially couldn't find it. And so this is how his grave became lost for many, many years until the case was taken up by the Cold Case Project and the students at Emory University. It's sad to know that Mr. Nixon's family had to flee to Jacksonville, Florida because they feared for their safety. And I mean, it's understandable at the same time because they feel like if they were able to kill their father as well as their husband and get away with it, you know, what could anyone do if they decided to come back and kill them as well? So I mean, it's understandable that they would flee, but it's also sad that they had to leave their home and everyone and everything that they known and earned and worked for because they were in fear for their lives. And after all was said and done, these men, they really got off with a slap on the wrist or next to nothing. And, with it being the times that it were, I mean, that was kind of to be expected, but yet and still it was, hurtful at the same time. And Miss Dorothy Nixon, Isaiah's daughter, she expressed in several articles and things that I read while researching this case that, she had anger, about the death of her father and these men, basically getting off with, like I said, a slap on the wrist. But the good thing is she found comfort and solace in her family. And I'm pretty sure a lot of the people that have gone through this, as well as their children, they all can, feel her pain and agree with her. And, to kind of add insult to injury, these people were in such fear for their life that they had to wait years and years to even go back to, care for Mr. Nixon's grave. And that caused his grave to become lost. And, thankfully to those students at Emory University, they were able to find his grave after all this time. And here's the video of them doing this.
I want to thank all of you all for being here. It's just so awesome. I've never seen a group of students as eager, persistent, to find everything that they could about my father. They were sincerely into it. I could see it from the very first time I met them in Atlanta at Emory University. Your faces will always be in my mind. I heard the video that Hank sent, and then I heard, I found it. It was amazing. They came here not to find Daddy's grave, but just to visit the site in which he was buried, and they found it. That just shows you what a group of students they are, and they're rare to even want to do this. I saw them all on their knees trying to clear off, and somebody saying, well, I found a bottle of water. I'll go get it. And and clear off and see. And thank you all. And the amount of information that you found, and I know you still have a lot to share with me, is phenomenal. The whole thing to me is just surreal. It just is. And when you first called me, I had still had a lot of anger. And I think I told you all I did. But after talking to your group, some of that was released. And I want to let you know now it's the anger is completely released. And thank you all for that. And so forth. I can just resolve this. It's been settled. And then looking at this, it's just unreal. I can't say anymore.
Thank you.
Except all that's coming in my mind is thank you, thank you, thank you.
If you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching.